So we have to understand where we ended last time. So we saw that what was the cycle of rebirth, why we are stuck. So it is always the Shoka and Moha. Okay. And now we wanted to know that how to break this cycle of Shoka and Moha. So what is Shoka? So when you get attached to something, especially what you like, what gives you comfort, this is called moha. When you get attached to things, this moha is reflected as greed. When you get attached to things and situations which are at present giving you comfort, and when a person gives you comfort and you get attached to it, then it is called moha. But overall, both lobh and moha can be clubbed together as one unit called moha. And it is attachment to comfort. We are comfortable to a circle around us. We are comfortable with a type of group. We are comfortable with our own space, our own things, everything which provides us comfort, okay, which provides relief, sukha to us, we get attached to it. We don't want to leave it. And from that moment, another cycle starts, which is called shoka. Because whatever you are having right now, at some point of time, it will not be there. Because that's how the nature is made up of. We are living in a world which is like a wave or an ocean. How long the wave will remain as it is? At some point of time, the change will come. People will change. Situations will change. Okay, things will change. And that will give shock. Because we were attached to some other thing, and now suddenly we cannot adapt and accept the change. And that gives the shock. And this cycle keeps going on, going on. So, how can one break this cycle? Now, let's see what Acharya Shankar has told that what can be done. So, to break this cycle, Acharya Shankar has given three things which are very important: yajna, dan, and tapas. So, if you keep doing these three things, definitely you'll be breaking the cycle of shoka and moha. So, first is yajna. So, what is yajna? Yajna, if you see the proper term, it is made up of two things, and it is coming from the yuja dhatu. Yuja means to connect. So when you remain in your individual self, when your individual identity doesn't connect with the universal identity, so that's where you will be suffering a lot because you are not meant to remain an individual identity. You have to merge in the supreme identity. We all are coming for this purpose only. But because of some karmic forces, we just lose this kind of memory, and we get stuck into some mundane things which are not that big. And to remind ourselves this purpose back, this is called yajna. The entire yajna is, a very big topic. We'll someday take a workshop on yajna itself, yajna rahasyam. But if you want to know that what is yajna, what Acharya Shankar is talking about, let's break down the yajna into three parts. So actually we have paroksha yajna, pratyaksha yajna, and antar yajna. So actually the yajna where you see the fire sacrifice, something is poured in fire, some sacrifices are given to the fire, that is called pratyaksha yajna. That's only one part of it. But the actual part which we do not see are the other two yajnas, which is Paroksha yajna and antar yajna. Paroksha yajna means the entire Prakriti which is doing the yajna, just getting, sync with that. When you become witness of the entire yajna which is happening in Prakriti, this is called Paroksha yajna. So you just go outside and you see that how the nature is having the transition. Suddenly the morning light comes and the bird starts chirping. The movement happens. You will see the change in nature. You will see, the cycle of nature every time which is changing. And that if you pay attention, when you become a witness of this change which is constantly going on in nature, this is called Paroksha Yajna. The entire Prakriti is doing a yajna. You see, now it is the summer time, the water will vaporize because of too much heat, the sun will peak, this water will come above, and then this will again pour, it will be poured down in the form of rains when the rainy season will come from June, July onwards. And it will rain for 3 months, and suddenly the cooling will start after the Sharadiya Navratri. So you see, the nature is going into a cycle. This is called Paroksha Yajna. So it happens every day, and since we can take one day of Devatas as 1 year of our timeline, this is happening, every day and every year. So when you constantly pay attention like a witness to what is happening in nature, this is called Paroksha Yajna. But Acharya Shankar focus on, the biggest part, which is Antar Yajna, the transformation and, the yajna which is happening inside. And the biggest yajna is the yajna of prana. You are taking in prana and you are giving out the prana, and that exchange of prana which is happening inside constantly, if you pay attention to it, that creates transformation, that brings that witness inside to the surface, and this is called antaryajna. So we have paroksha yajna, which Prakriti is doing, and other thing is antaryajna, which our individual body is doing. And when we become a witness to every part of the body movement which is happening, any movement in the body, even if you pay attention to a hand moving slowly above, that will also create awareness. And that's what an entire branch of yoga is there, which is called Lemurian yoga. Just pay attention to the slight subtle movements which is happening, even the movement of a finger. This can also take you to samadhi. Okay, but the change which is happening inside, the pranic movement which is happening inside. When we pay attention to this antaryajna, that's where the inner self just comes out, like it reveals itself, and we get the witness consciousness. And that's where he is focusing on yajna. Pratyaksh yajna, which you see that the fire sacrifice is done, it is like the mimicry of paroksha yajna. Okay. So that we will see, again in the part of Yajna Rahasyam workshop where we will see how it is happening. But the Paroksh Yajna which nature is doing, Antar Yajna which is happening inside, and in between what we do outside as a Dravya is like a mimicry of both. And this is called Pratyaksha Yajna. Any yajna which you do constantly, okay, whether you go for Paroksha Yajna, where you just merge yourself with the nature and its surroundings forces, whether you focus on your inner Yajna, it creates awareness and Jagriti. That's where the real connection happens. You realize that who you are. This is the real purpose of Yajna. Now, next part is Dana, which is selfless sharing. So the dan which Acharya Shankar mentions has three parts: compassion, generosity, and being selfless. Okay. So when you just, if you are sharing the food and you are just throwing the food to someone, this is not dan. Okay. So first thing which you should have is compassion. Compassion for everyone. Okay. Especially for those who are really in trouble, in pain, who are suffering. Compassion must be there. Second thing is generosity. Feel the abundance which you have and share that abundance with everyone. Okay, I have some extra resources with me. I have really that much, and I want to share it with the other. So after compassion, it should be generosity, which should come. And then it should be selfless, like you are not even doing it. Okay, you are just someone who is like, a bridge or connection, which is like a wire or a pipeline which you connect to the higher water source. It just acts as a channel from where the water can flow and go to the lower pressure area. Okay, so act like a channel. That I'm just a channel from which something is coming, which is happening from me. So, with compassion and generosity, act like a selfless channel of divine and keep sharing whatever you have. You can share your knowledge, you can share your, you know, uh, you can share whatever you have extra with others, which can definitely transform them, which can help them. All these things which you share with a compassionate mode by being generous and being selfless, this is called the true dana. And what it gives you, ultimately, the satiety which you create outside, it gives you the inner satiety. Okay. The pain which you heal in the outer world, it gives you, inner healing. That's where the channels which are tormented in your life, they start healing. So, you know, we all are like an energy ball. You can consider whatever all the relatives you have as an energy ball. So what happens? The body will change to some other body depending on the karma, but this channel will remain. So that means if you have someone as your mother and father today, okay, after this lifetime, in next lifetime, when you'll be born via some other mother, father. But this energy ball, which is there, which is connected by these two persons, this is not going to end. Over that, some other energy ball is going to come. So that means whatever impact you have created in this lifetime, it is not going to end. Okay. It is going to remain. Just another layer will add on it. But this layer is not going to end. So if you have really made this channel very good, where your parents are very happy with you, and everyone whom you know, whom, like those who know you, from whom you are connected with, if they are happy with you, can have a ball of family, have a ball of mother, father, brother, everyone. Okay, if in this lifetime it is, quite good, happy, then that means this channel will definitely give you good results, comfort. But if we, if we have done some bad karma, especially in past lifetime, that's where you will be finding that, some bad energy is flowing via any channel. Like you don't feel comfort with friends, you don't feel comfort with parents, or when you don't feel comfort with your brothers. That means somewhere from past lifetime, the bad karma is flowing through the channel. Now, what you have to do by doing the dan, you heal this channel back. Okay, by being compassionate, generous, selfless, you heal the channel back. And that's where, the things which are affecting you, they starts becoming better. So dan or selfless sharing is the second thing which Acharya Shankar has emphasized to actually heal the bad karmas which have been done. Okay, so far. And then third thing which is tapas. So we all know that transformation doesn't happen until unless we go through a fire. So there are five types of fire according to Patanjali Yoga Sutras, and willfully withstanding it. So you can withstand a fire, but you will, because whenever you come to contact with fire, one thing definitely comes is discomfort. After some time, you just want to disconnect because now you cannot bear it. Fire is like that because fire is, what is fire doing? What happens when you give something to fire? It it mends that entire swarupa. It gives disruption to whatever it had. So the identity, the karmas which you are having, they will be disrupted by fire, and the fire will eat up everything. And from that, you break down the very complicated, complex karmas to a very simple karma. And that's where tapas is very important. So, how do we do tapas? What is the way to do tapas? Shall you go to Himalaya and just be in a posture like you see in televisions and soap operas where you will be seeing, the yogis depicted as doing some tapas there? No, that's not the tapas. We have five types of fire, and burning in one of the fire willfully without, reacting in it, this is called tapas. So first fire is Bhut Agni, the physical heat which we see. The environment can have some kind of heating effect, especially in summers. For those who are living in tropical regions, they know this very well. That what is Bhut Agni? The environment's heat, which gives little discomfort. This is Bhut Agni, and your body's heat also. Okay. So, so the heat in the environment represents Bhutagni. Now, heat in your stomach, the fire in your stomach which digests the food, the fire of hunger is represented by Jatharagni. The fire of desire and passion, which just compels you to do something. The moment you have a strong desire for something, you just leave everything and move towards that. The strong desire of passion and fire of desire. Okay, this is called Kama Agni. When someone criticizes you, just remember that moment when you just thought of facing a criticism, how much discomfort you felt. This is biggest discomfort. Amongst all the five fires, the fire which is really discomforting is Badapad. This is very discomforting. This is fire of criticism. When others criticize you, whether you have done something right or wrong, it doesn't matter. But you are being criticized. You are being, pointed out, and the things are going wrong. This is a very, you know, painful fire which one undergoes. And this is called Badabad. And after that, the fifth fire is Premagni or Jnanagni, the fire of knowledge and awareness, or the fire of devotion to God. The nature will definitely make you undergo one of the five fire. Either you are ready for it or not, it doesn't matter. The nature has already, given you two fires, Bhutagni and Jatragni. But after that, being in a human body, you will get Kamagni and Badabagni often. You will definitely undergo the fire of desires and the fire of criticism. We all will undergo this. No one can be spared from it. But nature also has one more rule that you cannot be made into, more than one fire at one time. So if you choose Jatharagni, you will not face the other four fires at that time. When you when you when you compel yourself to face the Kamagni, the other four will be suppressed. So that means you have a choice at this point which fire you want to choose. If you choose the Jnana Agni or Prema Agni, you will not undergo the other four fires. And for that purpose only we all have come. So when you burn in the fire of devotion, when you burn in the fire of, you know, bhakti, when you burn in the fire of gyan, knowledge, the other four fires will be suppressed. They will not affect you at that time. So if you don't burn in the fire of prem or gyan, definitely you have to undergo one of these four fires at some point of time. You will face criticism, you will also face the fire of, you know, passion and desire. You'll also face the fire of hunger and the fire of physical fire which you see around you. So bearing the Bhut Agni for some time makes you strong. Your system cannot bear little bit of heat. The moment summer hits in, you just turn on your air conditioner, and that's where your body's natural cooling system doesn't come into play, and the body starts to have diseases in the end. So, some sort of physical fire we should definitely be a little bit so that we can make our body very strong. Second is Jatharagni. That's why fasting is recommended. Why? You have seen like many astrologers, many people recommend fasting. Oh, you fast on Ekadashi, you fast on Chaturdashi, you fast on Purnima, you fast on this day, that day. Why we do fasting? Because by bearing Jatharagni for some time, you are actually burning down the karmas. If you burn down some karmas in Jatharagni, you will not burn them in Kamagni and Badbagni. Badbagni is very painful. When you have that real fire of criticism, whether you criticize yourself or others criticize, that is very painful fire. So to avoid that Kamagni or Badbagni, burning some karmas in Jatharagni is much better. And that's why fasting is recommended. So when you burn down some karmas in Jatragni, you will not burn them in Badbagni or Kamagni, and from that you become pure. You also get strength when you bear some hunger. What happens now? We do have good researches which have shown that by actually undergoing a fast, and when it is actual fasting, not the fast which we do by consuming the high carbohydrate rich foods, not this is not fasting. Actual fast which you are doing, when you literally undergo fasting, what happens after some times, the autophagy starts in all the cells. What is autophagy? The cell first need the outer environment to give and nourish it by giving some food. But when the cell is deprived of this outer nutrition for some time, the cell starts eating all the wrong entangled proteins which have been created. And in that cleansing process, a lot of bad things which have accumulated in the body, they are cleared off. The fire rises in you. fire rises, it rises as the fire of hunger, but it spreads in every cell. First you feel hungry, now every cell feels hungry. At this point of time, every cell is eating up the bad proteins they have created. And this have been seen as a saving factor which can save you from the cancer. You know why we see a lot of diseases like especially tumors and cancers rising from the mid ages itself. We didn't saw this in India much before in the older ages. I'm not saying they were entirely absent, but we didn't had much cases of cancers, tumors, these things, and that too very common because the habit of fasting, especially once a week fasting, we were burning down all the bad proteins which we have accumulated so far. Okay. And that's where fasting really helps to reset the body. All the bad karmas accumulated at the body level by eating the wrong things, they can be fixed if you do fast. It's not that easy. I'm not saying if you are Pitta Prakriti, go for the fast as it is because the Pitta will rise and that will give you more discount. So you can try alternate diet like avoiding the regular diet being on fruits, you can do it at the initial level. But even for 2 hours or 3 hours, also, if you can bear that fire of hunger, that will be very good. Okay. And that's where, just the knowledge of Jyotish helps that, okay, which karma you want to burn. I want to burn this karma, that karma. So that thing you decide on the basis of the horoscope. Okay, this is the thing which is giving a lot of discomfort. So I choose that day or that tithi, and accordingly I burn down the karma. So now you understood that what is the impact of fasting which you are doing. Okay. So anyway, so these are the five fires, and you can choose one of them that this is the fire in which I will burn down my own karma. So you can choose Jatharagni or Premagni and Jnanagni. Both the Agnis will definitely free you from all the clutters, all the clutches, and that's where you will fulfill the purpose of your. So, so what Acharya Shankar has recommended, yajna, dan, and tapas. If you are doing them constantly, you will not face shoka. Okay. All the moha which is being created, it's not just at the conscious level. Moha is so deep you will not even recognize you have created it. It is at a subconscious level. And to clear that, we need to do yajna, dan, and tapas. By doing it, we become free. And now he talks about the two paths, karma and jnana. Second chapter talks about jnana yoga and karma yoga. And Arjun is confused that what should I do? So Acharya Shankar has told that if you have, sorry, yeah. So Acharya Shankar has told that if so suppose I'll just give you the direct example which he has given. Suppose a person with Pitta dosha has come to a Vaidya, a doctor, and he recommends him that you should eat those things which are cool in nature and eat those things which can reduce the fire, like curd, all these things which reduces the fire, pacifies your fire, and which are cool in nature, sweet and cool. Basically, that thing which is sweeter and cooler. Now the patient asks, "What should I eat? Shall I eat only sweet things or cool things?" Isn't it a pointless thing? Why can't you have both? Why can't you have both the things together? And that's where he answers Arjun also that why you only want the Gyan marg? Why don't you have both karma and Gyan together? That's where Yoga Vasishtha has also told that like a bird having two wings, Gyan and Karma both are needed to fly high. And that's where, you know, the deep knowledge of karma and gyan has been given by him. So while talking about karma, Acharya Shankar says that karma satisfied pitris. When you do some selfless action, when you generate good karmas around, when you do that which brings worldly harmony, this satisfies pitris, and that's where the comforts are blessed to you. Pitris are there in Bhuvarloka, and they they are satisfied by karmas. When you do good karmas, they also receive the blessings. Why? Because you are connected via channel. We are not free. So uh, we all are connected. And when we do some good karmas, we are generating good things for them. And second is Gyan. This is linked with Svargaloka. So the Gyan or knowledge, Vidya is that which satisfies Devata, and Devatas help you to elevate your consciousness. So by being on the path of karma, you satisfies Pitri. Being on the knowledge of Gyan, you satisfy Devatas. And they both help you to rise above. And the true seekers shall follow the Atma Vidya. Any sort of knowledge, any sort of Vidya which is linked with Atma Vidya in the end is the real Vidya which makes you free. And Devatas get satisfied when one follows that Vidya. So when you follow the path of your guru, this is where you are actually following the Atma Vidya, and this satisfies the devatas. You do have devatas also linked with you. That's where we find Ishta Devata, Dharma Devata, Palan Devata, and they become happy when you follow knowledge. Any knowledge, and that knowledge which makes you free, the knowledge which is given by your guru. So when you follow that knowledge, and from that the devatas help you to transform your life and rise higher. So by both gyan and karma, you change your entire life. And now what is this gyan and what is this karma? That is discussed in detail by Acharya Shankar. That we will see next time. Thank you.